The first place that I would like to go to would be Los Angeles, California, because of the nice beaches they have there, and I would also like to go to the Hollywood sign and to Hollywood itself to see where all the big movies are made, and maybe see one in the making. Who knows? Also go down to the beach and have a good time. The next place that I'm going to is Belgrade, Serbia. Some of the things that you can do here are you can go to the Krimelgaden Park, which is a massive park with a zoo and with a view of the Danube River that runs through Belgrade. You can also go camp as well as fish in the river, and also go mountain climbing. The next place that I will be visiting is China, specifically Beijing, China. The things that you can do there are visit the Great Wall of China, which is just outside of Beijing. You can visit the Forbidden City and go to the Summer Palace and the Temple of Heaven, as well as Tiananmen Square, where Chinese Chairman Mao is buried. You can still see his body there. And it is not aged a bit since it was buried because they put it into an airtight chamber. The next location that I will be going to is Moscow, Russia. The things that you can see and do here are you can go to the Moscow Kremlin, although you cannot go inside the actual Kremlin itself. And just outside of the Kremlin is Red Square, where Russia holds a military parade every year to celebrate their victory in World War II and the people that they lost during it. The next place would be St. Bastile's Cathedral, which is the building most associated with Moscow, Russia, simply because of the fact that it is the thing that every postcard from Moscow rather, has in it. The next thing you can also go to, which is open almost all the time, is Lenin's mausoleum that is in Red Square. And his body is still in there, although it has seen some decay over the years because it was not properly sealed. The next location that I will be going to is Paris, France. Some of the things you can see and or do here is you can see the Eiffel Tower. It is literally the icon of France. You can also go to the Louvre Museum, which is a landmark and art museum. You could used to be able to go to the Cathedral of Notre Dame, but it burnt down. The next place, which is also like a state mark of Paris, is the Arc de Triomphe, which is a monument that was built during Napoleon's time to celebrate his great victories all across Europe. The next place that I will be visiting is Rome, Italy. The interesting things that you can do and see here would be the Roman Colosseum that I am currently sitting on for some reason. St. Peter's Basilia, which is the largest Basilia of Christianity. You see the Roman Parthenon, and you can see the Vatican Museums, which is a papal palace, Renaissance art treasures. You can also see the Roman Forum, which is a excavated heart of the Roman Empire, and was also found in very poor condition, but has then since been revived and looks like it was back during the time of the Roman Empire. The next destination on my trip around the world will be Berlin, Germany. The things that you can see and do and go to here are the Brandenburg Gate, which is in the background right now, is a grand historical archway and a city divide. You can also go and see the Reichstag building, which is the historic glass-domed home of the German Parliament, and it was set on fire in 1933, but has since then been repaired, and it looks absolutely breathtaking. The next thing you can go and see is the Berlin Wall Memorial, which is still like part of the Berlin Wall. And you can also go to the East Side Gallery, which is a section of the Berlin Wall for street art, like graffiti and all that other kind of stuff. It's very interesting. The next destination on my trip will be Egypt, and also me climbing on the pyramid apparently. Oh, that's great. So the first thing that you can see and or do here is you can go and see the Giza necropolis, which is where all the pyramids are, and the Sphinx. You can also go to the Egyptian Museum, which traces and tracks 5,000 years of Egyptian history. You can also go to Sal al-Din a Dubai Castle, which is a landmark and a medieval Islamic fortress. You can also go to the Pyramid of Dosper, which is the ruins of a step pyramid built for a pharaoh. Next place that I will be going to on my travel around the world is Scotland in the United Kingdom. The things you can see and do there are go to the Edinburgh Castle, which is an old fortress and one of the largest castles in Scotland. You can go to Loch Ness, which is famous for supposedly housing the Loch Ness Monster. You have the Royal Mile, which is a road of Scottish history. It's literally written into the road. And you have the Palace of Holyrood House, which is a 16th century royal palace and abbey tours. And there's also Ben Nevis, which is a landmark mountain for hiking and climbing and camping. The last destination on my trip around the world is Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The things you can see and do here are you can see Christ the Redeemer, which is the iconic statue of Christ on the top of, I don't know what the mountain's called, but a mountain, and it is the staple of Brazil. The next place you can go to is Sugarloaf Mountain. It is a peak with a cableway car, and it has good views of the valleys below. And then the next place is Corvorento, which is another mountain, which is just south of Christ the Redeemer. You can go to Enscarezza Serlon, which is an iconic stairway covered with Masonic tile, as well as paintings.